A breaking story here. The Chicago Bulls have called a press conference for tomorrow morning, and there's high speculation and report that Michael Jordan will retire from basketball forever. As you know, Michael threw out the first pitch tonight. His father passed away, allegedly murdered this summer, and he has been with his family since then. I spent some time with Michael earlier. No reason to ask him if he's going to retire, but he seemed in good spirits. He said that his family was together and that he had lots of friends and support from his family, but no mention of retiring. Of course, again, no reason to ask him that question. Jim Gray has been following the story with us tonight. You spoke to Bulls owner Jerry Reinsdorf.
Yeah, I just spoke to Jerry up in his box, and Michael very hurriedly just left the ballpark when circulation of this story began. Jerry Reinsdorf said that he would not confirm the story. I said, by not confirming it, Jerry, does that not lend credence? Jerry went on to say, well, maybe it does, but we won't have anything official to say until tomorrow morning.
Upper reaches of one of the executive boxes. Michael Jordan is here in the ballpark. There he is.
If that were true and the White Sox lose this game, it's certainly going to take their loss off the headlines of the sports page tomorrow.
Michael, what do you say about this?
Back in Comiskey Park, and at the end of the 7th inning, Michael Jordan making his exit from the ballpark. Again, Michael reportedly with a news conference scheduled tomorrow morning here in Chicago, and there are unconfirmed reports that he will announce his retirement at that time. As we told you earlier, reports about a possible retirement tomorrow morning of Michael Jordan. Let's go downstairs to Pat O'Brien and Jim Gray. Pat?
All right, Greg, thank you. And if there's a reporter in this building who honestly is just covering this baseball game and 100%, I don't know who that man or woman is. Reporters are all over this building chasing this story down right now about Michael Jordan's possible retirement tomorrow. Jim Gray has spoken to Eddie Einhorn, who's the president of the Chicago Bulls, and gave you some sort of a confirmation.
Well, I asked Eddie if he could confirm the reports. He said he really didn't want to comment on it. I said, were you shocked? He said, yes, this is quite shocking, and that they are disappointed. I was also told that by Eddie Einhorn that this was something that they thought was a possibility, but it really comes at an unexpected time. I asked Eddie, did he come to the stadium, he being Michael Jordan, this evening and say, I'm retiring, or were you aware of it before then? He says, I really don't want to get into that. My indication from that is that this is a total shock to the Bulls organization.
And the Chicago Sun-Times has now confirmed the story that Michael Jordan will indeed tomorrow retire from basketball after a spectacular career on the hardwood, and of course after the tragic death of his father this summer. That's the story from here, Greg. Back up to you.
Pat, Jim, thank you very much. Shocking story, shocking news indeed. Moon over Chicago. When word of Michael Jordan's retirement gets out, it'll be blue moon. Michael Jordan now being quoted by wire services saying that he is comfortable with his decision, he is at peace with it, and he knows that there are people who will be shocked by it. But he apparently is ready to take his life in a different direction now. You are asking me, Jim, between commercials, why Jordan would pick this time now, and it's just about time for training camps to start, so he's going to give the Chicago Bulls a chance to make an adjustment and make whatever moves they have to make.
Well, I thought of that because Jerry Reinsdorf owns both, and he has a good relationship with Reinsdorf, and he knows that this is going to take a lot away from the sports scene focused on baseball here in Chicago. All the focus on the possible retirement of Michael Jordan, and not quite as much on the baseball game. Smile on Ricky's face.
Foul ball. What awed you early on?
Probably the big stadiums and the names. See, in those days, I mentioned Minoso and Fox breaking in against those. Never saw Ted Williams on television. So the first time you saw him, that was like an athletic god to you. Nowadays, with all the games on television, the players are much more human than they were 20, 30 years ago. And in addition to that, the American League hits 193 against a heavy sinking fastball. And a good slider.
Frank Thomas, Robin Ventura, Ellis Burks to face Ward here in the ninth. Ball one. Thomas walked in the first, third, and fourth, and singled in the 6th inning. In the air, right center field. Devon White is there, and the Blue Jays have claimed Game 1 of the ALCS. 7-3 Toronto. We'll be back to Comiskey Park in just a moment.